KLEAN Radio features celebrity and professional interviews covering a wide range of topics. If you or someone you know is in need of assistance in dealing with addictive disorders, call us now at 877-8-830-830 or go to KLEANradio.com. Now your hosts for KLEAN Radio, Andrew and Judah.
Hey Judah, how you doing?
Wow, that was a weird, intro. You didn't even, say hi, I'm Andrew.
Hi, the KLEAN Radio bit.
Yeah.
I'm going straight for the kill tonight. I'm right into the Judah.
I'm honored.
We actually have a really good show again.
We have a great show tonight, yeah.
Yeah, we've got Carmine Thompson, who's an interventionist, and his company is Intervention Allies. And then we also have Dana Cole, who's an attorney.
Yes, we met him outside.
Yeah, should be some hot political debate.
Yeah, some good political debate. And we have a great comedian, Rick Shapiro.
I'm excited to have Rick here.
Who is part of our fun car ride.
Right? People have no idea what it took for us to get him here. It was, how many fast food restaurants did we have to hit to get him here?
3.
We're going to go to break and then bring our guests in. You can reach us at 877-8-830-830.
That's 877-8-830-830. Or listen to us on KLEANradio.com.
And we're going to have calls for our guests. It's going to be exciting. We'll be back in a couple minutes. KLEAN Radio. Welcome back to KLEAN Radio. It's Andrew, and I'm here with Judah tonight. Judah's still doing that dance.
It's not a dance. It's my
You keep forgetting that we're on. We have video.
It's okay. I'm gonna
have our camera guy and Patrick edit up just a clip of you doing these goofy dances.
My greatest dance moments.
Right, and we'll ruin any credibility we've ever had on this show.
My greatest dance moments.
So people can check it out on KLEANradio.com. Definitely go and check out some of these video clips.
You know, some people say you have a face for radio. I am a great dancer for radio.
Is that what's going on?
It's it's like who can see, you know.
Sounds like a bad T-Rex song.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you get the?
You and these old bands that nobody knows. T-Rex, the Pixies. Oh.
Pixies, I never mentioned the Pixies.
Yeah, but I know you like them.
Actually, I don't like
Andrew
the
has Andrew's that guy that you can never say I like a certain band to because he'll be like, oh, you don't understand, that band stinks. All
right. Before we start picking on me, let's introduce our guests.
Okay.
So we got Carmine Thompson. Hello, Carmine.
Hey, good evening, everyone.
Got to stay closer to me.
Happy Easter to all.
Ah, there we go. Look, see, he got it politically correct, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what would be?
I don't know, just not even caring.
Oh, that's us. Yeah.
You know, we didn't say.
I said Happy Easter and Happy Passover.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Forgive me.
Okay.
It's like that. You know, people sneeze and you're supposed to say God bless you, and as an atheist, I have a problem with that.
That's
so.
Just say acknowledged.
Acknowledged. Carmine, he's the founder, and he's an intervention specialist for Intervention Allies.
That's my company. You guys can't hear me.
There you go. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, I started a company called Intervention Allies. In 2006, I started doing interventions to try to work with families and help those who need to get into recovery and are unwilling. So family members would call in, or their co-workers would call in, or a friend would call in wanting to get somebody help that they know is struggling with addiction. And that person is either in denial or minimizing the problem or just, not willing to go get help. So
do you work with people all the way through, like getting them into treatment and then post-treatment? Do you work with them after that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I know for the show, a lot of times you guys want to get into post, treatment and recovery, which is fantastic. I'm really at the beginning stages of somebody's recovery experience. So,
right.
And yeah, I absolutely work with them, getting them not just to a recovery program, but successfully completing the program, bringing family involved into the recovery process. A lot of times what happens is, it's a systemic family disease, and there's a lot of different parts that need to be healed. So families have typically been part of the whole addiction process, and now you got to get them to we're in solution mode now. We've got your loved one to treatment, okay? Right. Now we need to all start working together as a team to get into the solution and recovery. And families, sometimes resist that as much as the addict themselves.
I think most families resist it. I mean, from my experience.
Absolutely.
You know, because when I share my story with people about how my family recovered, in a sense, my family was willing to do anything. People look at me like I have, like I'm an alien. Like, your parents made amends to you. They look at me like, oh my God, you're like the luckiest guy. You know, you're the luckiest guy in the world.
Yeah. Families, family members play different roles in it. Some people are huge enablers to the addiction.
Right.
Others kind of in frustration and exhaustion, they'll literally just stop dealing with the addict. And that's a huge problem too. I mean, it's kind of like
anger and
the tough love theory.
Yeah, with no safety nets,
Mm-hmm.
and we do believe that there should be, boundaries, and there should be a sense of tough love. But without any kind of safety nets involved, you're literally just saying, "Hey, I'm walking away from you entirely."
Right. I really want to get into that, but first, let's introduce our other guest, Dana Cole.
Hey, good evening.
Hi,
nice
Dana.
To be
How are
here.
you?
Thank you very much.
And Dana, you're an attorney,
Yes, I am.
and I suppose you do a lot of work in this field indirectly.
I actually do. I get them at their worst stage, so to speak,
Right.
where they've crossed the line and entered the criminal justice system. But many of my clients are, have drug and alcohol issues, and I specialize sort of in kids 18 to 30, who come from dysfunctional families and have sort of fallen off the net, so the safety net, so to speak, and have really taken a nosedive and have, entered into sort of the criminal arena.
I love how in America we've extended kids to 30. Right? It's like adolescence just keeps getting pushed back.
Well, I mean, when you think about it,
we don't push Social Security back.
Yeah.
Eventually, adolescence and Social Security are going to meet.
But people used to
at
die at
65,
30.
Right? Like,
that was the average lifespan. So now the average
Right.
lifespan is 76. So
Right.
you really are a child.
so
till
your
30.
first lifespan
Yeah.
now is adolescence.
Yes, and it's a long time.
It's a long
Yeah.
time, right?
But the fact is, if you come from a family that's somewhat well-to-do, then parents can oftentimes be helicopter-type parents, and they're really
Absolutely.
watching these kids all along, and perhaps that's part of the problem.
And we see a lot of developmental arrestment from the use of drugs or alcohol. So if somebody starts using it, say 12 or 13, all of a sudden they're 30, they're still really 12 or 13.
Yeah, particularly if you come from a cushy lifestyle.
Right.
And so you haven't taken on a lot of responsibility, so you're turning to drugs and alcohol, simply to pass time as a diversion, and then you get into that cycle. And so all through your 20s, you really become quite addicted, and it's the parents who are trying to salvage the situation.
So speaking of diversion, there's a lot of diversion programs that used to exist within. Look at that segue. I'm getting better.
Relax.
Right.
You're getting okay.
I'm getting excited about my segues.
You're getting okay.
But anyway, there used to be a lot of diversion programs that existed, and by diversion for our listeners, I mean within physicians groups and with nursing and with other professionals. There used to be groups where if you had a problem with drugs or alcohol, you could go to your EAP supervisor or your employment human resources person, and there were programs that would divert you away from criminal justice system and into a treatment system. And we've seen sort of a lot of those programs disappear over the last 10, 15 years. And we've seen the real criminalization of substance abuse.
I think to a certain degree that's true. We still have drug diversion in the criminal courts. We have Prop 36, which is another form of drug diversion. But the fact of the matter is that we've become a very more punitive society, and when people make mistakes, there seems to be a desire to really want to come down hard, whether it's in the professions or in the criminal justice system, and be a lot less forgiving.
I read a stat a few months back that said about approximately 90 million Americans annually have some sort of problem with drugs or alcohol that result in a crisis. So either a DWI or a fight with a family member, and somehow it's related to drugs or alcohol. So basically,
Thomas has actually made that statistic.
Yeah, right. So, but basically, probably, but along with a few others.
And at the end of it, it said call.
Yeah, call. Right.
If you have a problem, call.
But the interesting point is that obviously there's a lot of people that don't qualify as addicts or alcoholics yet, but are having problems with the abuse of drugs or alcohol. So a lot of your clients probably are at that stage. They're starting to have early symptoms of abuse-type behavior, but not necessarily addicts or alcoholics.
Well, a
correct?
huge number of my cases in domestic violence and battery, that type of thing, frankly, embezzlement or theft cases,
Right.
oftentimes stem from alcohol and drugs, probably more often than not.
I used to own 9 psychiatric hospitals, and there's a couple things I learned by owning hospitals. One is that ERs on the weekend just reek of alcohol. It's like just all alcohol-related incidences.
But great stories.
Yeah, great
I mean,
stories.
if you're
Yeah,
ever bored, go to Cedars. Go to Cedars Sinai on a Sunday night.
Well, this is in Louisiana, so it was like if you want to see a foot shot off by a shotgun, it's a good place to go. You know?
It's a really, it's fun.
I don't know about fun.
I know it's exciting.
You've got some issues.
Anyway, warped.
Yeah.
Right? And then the other thing that I noticed was that a lot of sort of what we call deviant behaviors tend to have underlying substance abuse problems. So,
but here's the thing: what you're talking about, and it almost sounds like you're excusing certain things, and not you in particular, but it's like if you commit a criminal act and you're high or you're drunk, it's still a criminal act.
Well, Judah, here's what I tell judges. It's not that I'm telling them about an excuse. I'm giving them a reason to understand the behavior and then either cut someone a break or at least consider mitigation as a result of a drug and alcohol.
Okay, but as long as you say that you're not using it as an excuse, but you're giving a reason. But a reason to me still doesn't, if you accidentally kill somebody while you're driving drunk, it's horrific, and I mean, God knows that could have been me. And I'm not judging that person that did it, but should that person go to jail?
Well, the fact of the matter is nowadays, at least in California, if you kill someone when you're under the influence, then jail is not your issue. You're really looking at state prison.
Right. Simon said right. I mean prison.
Very, very, very serious. It didn't used to be. I agree with you. It's not that they would look the other way. But the problem is, it's not a problem. It's just a very serious criminal act if you're drunk and you kill somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me that with the jails being overcrowded, and I seem to see a lot of people getting out earlier. It seems to me until the third DUI, I guess it is in California, right? It seems to be less of a problem. There seems to be ways to get around it. Well, like going to jail, I mean.
Yeah, that's certainly true. You really, in a sense, get two bites at the apple, unless your second one comes when you're on probation from the first. But assuming that's not the situation, your first two DUIs really do not result in a jail sentence. But that third one, you can get whacked a little bit. You can get up to 120 days, which in at least Los Angeles County
is like 19. And I only know this from reading about Lindsay Lohan.
And it's just a few days.
Isn't it amazing though? Like that, I know so many laws about the state of California through celebrities getting in trouble. I know how much money you have to pay alimony if it pays to have two kids.
Right. Certainly
you get more alimony money.
Right. You have to be the woman though, Judah, for that.
No, you don't.
Oh, really?
If you're a guy and you're
this is your new career
this
plan.
This is my 10-year plan. But if you're married to somebody and one kid, it's like $5,000. If they make a certain, and then it moves, it gets bumped up. And I know this because a friend of mine who is an actress was paying her ex-husband until the kid was 18.
You just scare me. I have to say.
It's called being well-read, okay?
No, that's what you said. It was on TV, so you didn't even do any reading.
It was on the Drudge Report, okay?
Okay, all right.
I'll confess. Or actually, no, it wasn't. It was on Perez Hilton.
Right.
But I want to make myself sound
sort
smart.
Of reading, I suppose.
But it's crazy. I know every California law by watching TMZ, or I mean you.
Well, just relating to divorce and substance abuse
and criminal activity.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, it's interesting. I've been the legal analyst for Good Morning America for the last 7 years.
Oh, wow.
And so we take every celebrity case and we have to distill it down to an 8-second soundbite and explain exactly what's going on in 8 seconds. But
so can you distill Judah in 8 seconds?
And that may be hard.
By the way, Carmine, Carmine is very quiet, and he's an extremely well-dressed man.
He's still in shock. He's like, how did I get on this show?
I have to tell you, Carmine, I'm impressed with the clothing.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, I've worked with Dana on a lot of his cases. I mean, Dana and I are really good friends, and what I really love about Dana is always going for the recovery angle with his clients. If that's an issue, he's always presenting to the courts, how do we get this person help? Because if you just, lock someone up and throw away the key, or just lock them up, period, and they don't get help for addiction, we've served no purpose in doing this. And, typically prisons were always a last resort kind of deal for the worst of the worst. So it's really important that, you come see me before you wind up with Dana and go into the court system.